Morning, everybody. Today I was listening to Leviticus 19, and I wanted to kind of just talk a little bit about how when you're reading Leviticus 19, for whatever reason, the Father felt it important to repeat over and over, I am the Lord your God, or I am Elohim. He continues to remind them in this one chapter of Leviticus over and over who he is. I think it's interesting because what he does is he also tells them ways that they should live, ways that we should live. And as he goes through this list of things that he wants us to live like, which is funny because it's almost like reading the Ten Commandments over again, but it's also a little like listening to what Yeshua says we should do when we follow him. So it's kind of culminating into yet another list of, hey, I told you before, I want you to live this way. I'm going to tell you again, I want you to live this way. And he's also repeating himself in the sense that he's telling us who he is. This is who I am. That's pretty important, I think. When something's repeated in Scripture, it's perceived to be fairly important. When things are repeated 3 times, it's pretty important. 12 times, really important. When it's repeated over and over in the same Scripture, it's pretty important. So, what do you think it is? What do you think the message is that the Father's trying to give us by repeating over and over, I am Elohim, or I am your God, I am the Lord? Why does he keep saying that over and over and over again? And what is he saying in the original Hebrew? Have you checked that out? What's deeper in that? I'm not going to get into the depths of that as much as I am wanting to encourage you to get into the depths of that. Study your faith. Learn what it is you believe, not just from what everybody else has told you or from skimming through, but really get in there and study what it is that not only you believe, but you're supposed to live out. Learn who the Father is. And I think that's what's most important about Leviticus 19. He keeps repeating who he is. He keeps saying who he is because he knows we have a tendency to forget who he is. We have a tendency to forget and disrespect his position and who and what he is to us. It's not good to forget who he is. In fact, it can be really dangerous to forget who he is. And in that, one of the other things that I found important is that he gives us his identity. He gives us more than just something basic, like just referring to him as God. But he gives us an identity that we can refer to, that we can point to, that we can be sound in our definition of. And if he is taking his identity as important, what about your identity? What is your identity? Is it based in him and his calling on your life and his position in your life? What is your identity? If he is saying, I am the Lord your God, I am Elohim, what would you say if asked who you were? If you were to write this chapter with a response in between every time he says, I am the Lord your God, what would you say? Who would you say you are? I am the good and faithful servant. I don't know. I guess that's something each of us has to answer. I don't know that I could definitively say that I am the good and faithful servant. I'm doing my best to be a decent I think that's just the path a Christian is on, continuing to assume the identity that we are supposed to have and to shed the identity the world wants to put on us. That's what God gave me today, guys. Love y'all. God bless.